All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Happy Sweet 16, fuckers. I love you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Jess.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally, they're all gone. Am I right? I'm incorrigible.
Keep in mind, when you go to keithandthegirl.com, you can always go to keithandthegirl.com/ and a guest name, and you'll see every time that person was on before, as well as this next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Rich Voss.
Hey, hey, how's it going?
Hey, Rich, good to see you.
I said bring me in early because I wanted to say hi to Christian too. I didn't know he was on, and I just tonight I heard him as I was driving on Sirius. Very funny, so funny, man.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I mean, I did want to ride into a pole, but no, it was great, funny stuff.
What was his name?
He said, "What was his name?"
The poll is like a.
You still think he's funny?
Like, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, he's funny. And listen, he's always been funny. He's always been funny.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that.
Yeah, whatever.
How have you been?
I'm, you know, I mean, someone said there's a pandemic, so I'm trying to do what I can do. You know what? I am now kind of a little bouncing off of walls because it's like Groundhog's Day. You know, it's almost so repetitious. You know, when it's warmer out, I can at least go play golf. That takes up 4.5 hours, whatever. So now, luckily, we moved out of our townhouse, and I guess last November, before the pandemic, we bought a house with an acre of property. So you know, during the spring, summer, planting shit, doing shit, you know, whatever it takes to run a house. Besides God, and I'm doing gigs here and there. I did one tonight in Connecticut. Bobby did a live stream, Bobby Kelly. So I went up and did 15 minutes before.
No, wait. So, but is that in front of are there people in the room with you?
Well, yeah, it was a theater. There was maybe, I don't. 50.
Oh, it's in person, but they're live streaming it.
Yeah, they live streamed it. There was an audience for him, but he's, you know, selling the live
They're all
stream.
Spread out.
Yeah,
are they behaving?
Not only, and I've done some inside stuff. They made them all wear masks at this one. Mm-hmm. And you know, I stay away from the risks. Like if I'm doing a gig somewhere, I either sit in my car until I go on, or I bring my own mic. Okay. I don't do any meet and greets or sell merchandise. You know, I just try to keep away. I don't like people to begin with, or at least my audience. I don't like. You know, so, you know, it's not like there's a lot of outside gigs, you know, over this summer.
Yeah, I was doing outside shows. I haven't done any. I haven't done any indoor shows. I just everybody's got to find their own thing, what they're comfortable with, whatever. But yeah, I was doing a ton of outdoor shows. But yeah, it's been depressing the last couple months since those aren't happening now.
And I haven't been on a plane in 11 months. I mean, I had it down from the park, everything. And our tour, me, Bobby, Bennington, and Florentin, the Creeps with Kids tour was killing. You know, we're doing 800, 1,000 people. Then boom, knocked right out. You know, luckily, Colin, we did that HBO Max special to people in their cars.
Right.
Have you done any of those?
No, I haven't done any of the car.
Do they
ones.
laugh by honking their horn?
Well, here's the thing. When you do TV, everybody, you know, you go to clubs and try to practice your set to make sure you have your set down for TV. So we're doing drive-in, you know, people. So I went to 4 different parking lots in my town, you know, and I stood there practicing, and I had a really good set at Kohl's. I bombed at Home Depot. That wasn't a good set. You know, it was weird because I hosted it, and then Chris DiStefano went on first, but after him I said, honk your horns, blink your lights. He said I didn't warm him up for him, whatever. But nobody warmed him up for me either. I just went up cold. But it turned out great because it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It started off light out and then it got dark, and the whole New York skyline, because we did it in Brooklyn, was behind us. So it was cool. And then Bonnie and I had a nice little scene in the King of Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
So that came out. All this came out during the pandemic. The roast I did, Voss roast, we put free on YouTube in the beginning of the pandemic just to give something back. And that did almost 500,000 hit. So it,
By the way, I still, for giving something back, I still have to pay for that.
not now. It's been free on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Well, you paid for it before we put it before
Gotcha.
the pandemic.
Gotcha.
I'd like
Hey,
somebody
real
to give
quick.
me back the 90 minutes I spent watching it. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking. I haven't seen it.
I guarantee it's the best roast you'll ever see. I'll bet you when the pandemic's over, 2 spots that if you don't like it, I'll have to switch with you.
I'm sorry. The Voss roast. Yeah, I have seen. I haven't seen the Colin
HBO.
thing, the HBO Max thing.
Oh yeah, you won't like
but,
that. But
I'm not proud of
that
that
roast is
No.
killer.
oh, thank you.
No, it's great.
Listen,
Yeah,
real
Bonnie
quick.
hosted it. She kicks ass. Yeah, it's super good.
Keith and Kemda, and not to get into a big thing because I keep reading this on Facebook and
Mhm.
and everything, and it's not really my business. I just want to know why there's this drama, and it's not like. But what happened with you and Ray Goots? You guys,
Our buddy Ray Goots.
yeah, what happened? That
I did not expect that of all things. I'm like,
I don't know
what?
because every now and then I remember him from Caroline's when he worked, but every now and then I'll read
Did
some.
he work at Caroline's? What did he do at Caroline's?
Wait, treat me. I don't know who Ray Goots
Kemda
is.
will
He was
explain.
one of the managers at Caroline's.
Okay.
And I follow him on Facebook and stuff, but I think he's harboring some resentment.
It sounds it, right?
Yeah.
Well, he happened to just be up and won. He didn't accept, of course, a KATG award. You can see all the awards at keithandthegirl.com/awards. Kemda, would you like to explain the good story?
Honestly, I'm not sure that I can, but I can try. We met
don't-
him.
Wait, hold on. I'm not bad, man. I just kind of want to know.
Oh,
So
I don't
I-
give a shit.
We're happy to say.
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, I know. Go ahead.
I'll reference the
Kemda,
shows.
you're never gonna get a hosting gig at Caroline's if you.
Oh
keep this up.
no!
Right.
Oh
He doesn't
no.
work there anymore.
Yeah, I think he got fired after he was on our show. We met him last year around this time. The second time he came by was about a week after the first, which was for our marathon. The first time he came by was a regular show, I think, Keith, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, it was. And completely frank, he has a very incel vibe to him. But it was mostly, I think, if I'm remembering right, Keith.
Wait, and he's employed at a comedy club?
Hold on. Bonnie, what's incel mean? Go ahead. She's on.
The guys that are owed sex.
Involuntary.
Your audience, Rich.
Oh, all 2 of them. Before this pandemic, I had to bring my own curtains to club and curtain off the second row.
Just make it one line
Yes.
of audience members.
If
the way
it's a
most of
long
my
thing,
Edinburgh
you don't have
shows
to
were.
get into it. I just
It's totally fine. So he talks, he was a virgin for a very long time. Then he lost his virginity to a woman in Vegas from that
Bunny Ranch.
from the Bunny Ranch. And we were just talking about that. Keith was reading an article that he wrote, and it was a lot of more Keith back and forth, I think. And I was, throwing in my whatevers. Then when he came to the marathon, it was about 6 a.m. the night before he had drank. It was his birthday. This is just stuff that he's bringing up. And then what happened? I said something about hookups or something. Keith, I think you would say this better. And he started, I think, coming at me.
He was Kenda was asking like, "Oh, you only hang out with girls? They're all always pretty young." do you not like dudes? Something like this. And then he snapped and was like, you try to paint this picture of me. Well, I also have a friend who she's a girl. She's my age and she's my friend, but you don't seem to want that narrative, do you, Hemda? That doesn't fit your narrative, does it, Hemda? That I do have friends of different things. And by the way, I resent the fact that when I say I hook up with somebody, yes, that can mean just kissing. It can mean different things. When someone says hooking up, it kind of goes, whoa. Yeah, then she pushes a little bit. She goes, you mad, bro? But then, and she's not wrong to do it, but she doesn't help. And then she says, hey, I was just, I'm just saying this part of your story is weird. This part of your story is weird. And he goes, yeah. I was just playing along, it makes good podcasting, trying to rile things up. But he was honestly offended, and he tried to play it off, but he really did snap and blow up on him.
I'm going to go on Facebook tomorrow and say, you two were talking about him.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, I don't mind.
I'm going to keep this going, man.
Excellent.
This is my entertainment.
Can you
Ray
tag me?
Dukes.
Whatever.
Well, at that awards page that we talk about, because we've done for 13 years we've done awards, and we played that clip, and then we call the winner. Then the audience votes, and then we call the winners. And of course, people wanted us to call Ray Goots, so he was the winner. And I texted him the day before, and I said, hey, let me know. And I don't expect him to say yes, but congratulations, you won, best fight, you versus Hemda. Let me know if you're up for a phone call. Congrats again. It'll take like 5 minutes. And he goes, sure. And I never know how to read sure or fine, but I know in general that means a yes, but I don't know if you're doing me a favor or whatever. Then I go, oh, great, it'll be fun. The next morning, the morning that we're doing that show, he goes, oh, actually, I misread your text. And you said that you're going to do the show from 7 to 8. I'm having somebody over during that time.
Now
So I don't know if he just didn't realize, hey, did he think he's just getting some award and didn't know where it's coming from? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll take an award. And he was playing cool. I don't know. Did he think, yes, he would do it? Maybe he was drinking again and he thought he'd do it next morning. He's like, well, what did I do? I don't think they treat me right. I don't know what happened. And I said, well, the call will only be 5 minutes. I can do it in the closer to 7 if that helps you. Never mind, you have pals coming over during a pandemic, but all right. And then he didn't write back at all. And so we had somebody else that fought with Hemda. I see a pattern, accept the award on his behalf.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's get back to me.
Yes. Can I fight with you now, please?
I lost it all. I don't have it in me anymore. I'm just so.
Is this draining you? Is the pandemic draining you? You sound drained.
No, I just drove back from Connecticut, but no, I'm not drained. I mean, look at it. It's 1:30. I'm not going to do backflips.
No, I don't mean that necessarily. I don't mean your tone. Just like
in life.
Yeah.
Well, I've had some stomach problems, but that takes a little out of you. I guess listen, like I said, I'm lucky. We have property. I could leave. I could do whatever. Right. But still, I miss doing what I do for a living. I had, weekends I look forward to going, I'm going to go work here. I like this place. I love performing. I just love being on stage. And, it's, and as as you get older, it's even tougher to get work. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. So, with this
I'm operating under the assumption that it might be done for me when things come back. Like I'm the exact kind of comic who is going to get left behind, I think, just because it's like I'm not established enough to be a big deal, and I'm not like new, you know what I mean? And I really think that comics like me in the middle are going to get kind of squeezed.
But isn't that kind of how you always feel? Like,
yeah. I'm girding myself for disappointment.
Okay,
but,
all right.
But if you create your own opportunities,
well, I don't want to do that. That's the problem. No, that's my problem.
Well, no, here's what I think. Okay, clubs. I get a lot of them operate on the quick fix. This person has this many followers, this many, and some are great comics. Some are not. I just think they have to mix it up. Young, new, internet sensations, seasoned headliners. And that's just my opinion. Look, there's a lot of clubs that use me and a lot that don't. But I always figure out, and I'm lucky too. My wife is like a fucking showrunner. I mean, she sold a show. She comes up with ideas. We have a podcast that's pretty successful, not like this, but a kind of a cult following because of our marriage and our, relationship.
By the way,
I feel like
speaking of
that's
that,
doing very well.
speaking of my wife hates me, um, is there any stress on the marriage because of the pandemic? Like
Oh,
did you
yeah.
need to get away and now you can't?
Well, there is stress because we have a 13-year-old, which is a nightmare.
Right.
When she was 6 or 7, 13 with purple hair and TikTok and not going to school, doing schoolwork from in bed. She went from a straight A student, straight A. She was brilliant. Now she's teachers writing to us. Uh, Luckily, Bonnie and I have our own bedrooms, separate bedrooms, because when we bought this place, I would after shows I would come in late at night, wake her up, I'd snore.
Yeah.
So we have our own space within our space, and it's great too because after sex I'm like, hey, listen, you got to run.
It's still
I
fun to
gotta
kick
get
'em out,
Blue
right?
Yeah,
early tomorrow.
I always give her a CD as a parting gift. One of
Sure.
my CDs. And I tell her I'll call her tomorrow. I don't, but so having our own space right now. We have a guest room down here. No guests ever, but
Sometimes you like to fuck in there to be like, we're just in a hotel.
oh yeah, we'll come downstairs but we barely. Sex. That's we're together almost 17 years, so what I'd step over her to play golf, and she would me too,
And she doesn't play.
and she no.
Rich, they don't understand these things. They don't understand. You should have seen the people that were on before you. They're all like, oh yeah, I can't go 4 days without fucking, like, sexy this and sexy that. It's like,
Please.
whatever.
Again, Christian, you've been saying this since the beginning.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Ugh,
because
sex.
you're all
Yeah.
horny and lying. I don't know.
my wife-
Horny or lying. I don't know.
My wife kisses me like I'm her grandfather, and I kiss her like she's in a coffin, like like a little. Yeah, but
It's
I'll
funny 'cause she
never.
doesn't kiss me like that.
I know. Well, when you start headlining, uh, uh, yeah, here's the thing. I'll never find anybody I would rather be with. One thing we do is make each other laugh. She cracks me every night I come in. It doesn't fail. She pretends she's dead on the couch. I go, oh, that old one. Every time I walk in that night, she just sits there like she's dead, like she was murdered, but it's so funny because if you say something's funny, I go, that was funny. She'll do it again for me. She's out of her. She told me once.
These are the most beautiful renewing of vows, by the way, I've ever heard.
She told me once, I don't care if you talk to girls like in clubs or just, if I'm there, but if I see you laughing, she goes, I'll break her arm.
Have you read Bonnie's book yet? I'm just
Oh,
I didn't finish it. I still got 2 more chapters. Look, it's been 6 years. Give me a break.
I don't want to. I read it this past year, and I'm not going to tell you how it ends. I don't want to spoil it for you. I
Well,
just wanted to check to see if we
it's
can.
hard.
finally chat.
Listen, before we got married, we were both with other comics. That's our business. But it's hard to read about it.
Oh, none of the stories about the guys that she was with is good. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember reading anything that was like, man, do I know that comic? He sounds hot. They were all fucking half
zeros.
homeless. I feel like she slept with one just to like have a place to sleep. Like I think she really meant I slept over. Like it wasn't a good depiction.
Well, here's the thing too. I didn't finish the book, but she's never listened to all my CDs.
Okay, but do your CDs have a rape story in them?
Yeah, what I do to the audience.
That's why you don't like them.
I don't know if you call it fraud or rape. I don't know what you call it, but
She's like, she was on her show and she's like, I want Rich to know this is a big part of my life, but I think I'll just put it in the book and wait until he reads it. And she's like, he still hasn't fucking read it. This thing changed my life.
Oh, is that the end? Oh, I should finish it. Oh shit, you're lying. You're just trying to make me read it.
I'm not. You know what? Type in Keith and the Girl / Bonnie McFarlane, and she'll tell you the tale. How about that?
Bonnie did before the pandemic. She had a full spread in the New York Times, a big article, and I got one little blurt in it. And Raina, my daughter, it was her and Raina, the New York fucking Times, the entertainment section. She had a big thing. And they said one thing about me. I'm like, what the fuck?
In all fairness, Raina goes to more shows with her than you do.
Oh, yeah, I can't watch that again.
Oh, God, every time I'd be at the stand and Raina would be sitting in the corner playing her game on her phone or whatever, I would, there's certain comedians she would be friendly with, and I was like, "Hi, Raina," and she would just like nothing.
You.
I got nothing from that girl. I was like,
I know
okay. And I immediately was like, "Oh, she's cool," and I'm not. That was my first thought.
She would come to the studio and we're like, we're gonna ask you some questions. And Bonnie's like, man, she has headphones on, she's all good. And it's true, because I forget how much kids don't give a fuck what their parents are talking about.
Right.
They don't care about your life. Like, it could be the most entertaining, like, oh, maybe I should listen to this. Like, I wonder what mom and dad do when I'm not around. They're like, when mom and dad are not around, they're dead. Unless they're giving me a juice box or something that I need, what do I care what they're doing? I don't even know what golf is, but my dad doesn't give me a juice box around that time.
It's funny because Bonnie will walk by Raina and flash her or something, and she's like, "Ugh, I'm your kid." And like one of Raina's friends, her father's a dentist. And when Raina was at her house, her father goes, "I'm funnier than your father." So Raina came back and told us. So on the podcast, I don't know his name, but let's say Tom Franklin. We're on our podcast going, "Fuck Tom Franklin," right? I go, "I'm a better dentist than Tom Franklin." I go, "What are you, fucking anybody could be a dentist." So Raina tells her dumb friend, and her friend tells the dad. Now the dad listens to the podcast, and Raina's not allowed to play with the kid.
She'll learn.
It's perfect. You got a new listener, and you don't have to drive the kid somewhere to play with this kid.
The girl was telling, I don't know the last girl, Jessica, I don't know where I know her from, but I do kind of know her, Jess Wood or something.
She was like kind of in like the Lower East Side, East Village scene with me, like when I started in like the late 90s, like Surf Reality, Collective Unconscious, Mo Pitkin's Baby Jupiter, like those venues. Like
did you go to Surf Reality, Rich?
I did that once. I did Luna Lounge a couple times. I love Luna.
Yeah.
Because I like Luna, but the audience was so like, they thought they were like, oh, look at us, we're so hip and cool.
It was the
audience.
It was the Williamsburg. The Williamsburg.
No, but it's like we're so woke as our parents are financing our fucking life in New York, and there was something about them. But I always had fun on the stage at Luna. I did Surf Reality. I just remember some guy that was all tattooed up. I think he ran the place.
Pritchard.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah.
Pritchard,
it was cool. So she was telling a story about trying to be a stripper. One time during my first marriage, like I had nothing going on. I was broke doing one-nighters in Ohio, wherever. And I was driving home from a one-nighter tour at no money. Christmas is coming. And I stopped in a truck stop, and they used to sell cassettes of comics in the truck stop. So I saw Vic Henley, may he rest in peace, had one. And I saw Vic, I go, "What do you do?" He goes, "Oh," he gave me the guy's information. He goes, "You'll get $5,000. So back then, $5,000 would have changed my life, Christmas and everything. So the guy said, "Yeah, make a tape, send me a demo." So I went to stand up in New York. I made the tape. I go, I'll do a clean set. You know, I guess for a tape, you do a clean set. And it was a good set. And I sent it to the guy, and I'm going, oh, I know I'm going to get $5,000. He calls me back and goes, I listened to it. He goes, very funny. He goes, but you're not right for truck stops. There is nothing more crushing to hear. You're not right for truck stop. Hey, do you think I can get into bus terminals? I'm not fucking right for truck stops. Shut your mouth.
I remember Liam McEnany. He applied to be a peep show booth mop
Mopper?
guy. And didn't get the job.
He was too eager.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
But I remember him saying that he would the deal. He used to do a bit about it where it's like once an hour you'd have to go in there and mop the floors, and once a day you'd have to mop the ceiling.
Oh. I'll tell you another thing that keeps me sane through this. I go to a lot of 12-step Zoom meetings, you know. So I was at a Zoom meeting, a lot of comics. And that day I spoke. They asked me to speak, and I spoke for 20 minutes. Then people share. I'm not breaking anonymity. I'm just saying 12-step.
Do you find that yourself, even if you can't help yourself, do you find yourself performing per se?
No, I'll throw a joke in here and there, but it's a lot of comics. So they'll just go like this to me or
Thumbs down.
you know.
The jerk
So
off sign.
I spoke, and then people started sharing, and this girl started sharing. She goes, thanks for the lead. She goes, years ago, I opened for you.
Oh, isn't that
And
inappropriate?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's comics. But she was going to say something like, I opened for you in Ohio. And I'm going, please do not Me Too me in front of all these people. I'm like, no, my heart was fucking. And she just goes, you were an inspiration when I was getting high or trying to get clean or whatever. But it's scary because even as a comic, you could say something just joking and end your career, you know. And I just spoke, to 30 people, 35 people in a 12-step meeting. And then all of a sudden I was going, oh God, what did I say?
Did
but
I
it was
lead
nothing.
you to drinking,
Yeah. But next month I'll have 35 years.
Congrats.
And if I could just quit fucking playing lottery, I'll be okay. Or buying off of Amazon. That fucking Amazon saved me. Oh, love it. Oh.
So no one's wondering what she could have Me Too'd you about? What?
No, she
weird off
It does imply that there are circumstances that are Me Too'able.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I was no, she was talking. I opened for you. It was great working with you. You were an inspiration. But in my head, when she goes, I opened for you, I'm going, oh, fuck, did I do anything? But
right. Like, what could you have done? What is
I
it
could
in
have
your
said
mind?
something like stupid, like, do you have any little brothers? Or I don't fucking know. I could have said, who knows? I'm a comic. I'm on stage. I said stuff to waitresses, I'll say to a girl in the audience, you're hot. You ever been to a Hampton Inn? Whatever, who knows what I'll say if I'm doing crowd work, not material. If I'm doing crowd work,
What does that mean? Have you ever been to Hampton Inn?
I'm saying that's what a low budget asshole I am. Like, hey, you're hot. You ever been to a Hampton Inn?
What was the do you have younger? I don't get the do you have younger brothers one.
I don't get
I
that.
go, you're pretty. Do you have any younger brothers? It's
I'm more attracted to the younger brothers.
Yeah.
Well, you're right up there with Louis C.K. taking his dick out and blocking the
No, I'm
bathroom,
not.
aren't you?
I wouldn't. What are you kidding me?
Do you know what Me Too means?
Yeah, I think you're okay, Rich.
Can't you say something? People.
Look who's getting in trouble. Is it because they're making a Hampton Inn joke?
Okay, no. Look at Kevin Hart. He said things, and the Oscars. He didn't host the Oscars.
Remind me what he said, and I have a feeling Kevin Hart's career is still okay. So I don't. Me Too'd is not what you get. Me Too'd is what the victims of the crowd like. You don't get Me Too'd. I get how we're using it, but
Oh,
It's not an off the cuff remark. It's not.
I'm not trying. If isn't getting me too, if you're inappropriate to a girl and she outs you, you got me too, right? Isn't that what it means?
That's kind of what it's become.
Yeah, it
What's
has.
that?
It's what it's become.
Oh,
I mean, Me Too, the origin of it, if I remember correctly, was that women were talking about their experiences of being assaulted or abused. Hashtag Me Too, as in like me as well. Like I have also been a victim. Like Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. That's what I think it started as, and then it's kind of become this thing that yeah.
Did you think it's the men complaining? Fuck, me too.
That's why
I took my dick out.
That's why I love this podcast. You can learn so much. That what Bonnie had a joke. I don't even remember it. Me not or something. I don't know.
But here's the difference, as far as I could tell, that you're even saying, "Hey, I said stupid shit," like, which, you know, I don't know, seems kind of tame the way you were revving it up, and even comparing it to Kevin Hart making a homophobic joke. You already said I said stupid shit. Kevin Hart was like, "Yeah, I said it. I'm not really going to apologize because I already apologized before, believe it or not." There's a big difference.
Yeah, but most comics, at least, you know, the crew, we've all said stupid shit. Okay, not me. Let's say this. You can. The world is so politically correct now that don't try to ruin your career for the dumbest thing.
Who's they?
I don't know, these bloggers or just guys like there's a guy, I don't know who it is, that goes after the Stan. I don't know who he is.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
But you don't.
Yes, there's some garbage people out there, but
Yes.
I mean, it's I don't know. Listen, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, we were talking about Revenge of the Nerds earlier. You know, there's nothing wrong with saying, acknowledging that, you know what, there were things that we all kind of said, or if we didn't say them, we didn't speak up when other people said them. We accepted that they were kind of acceptable. And now in retrospect, we can see we're a little fucked up. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong. And I wish that the comedy community in general, as kind of someone who, you know, leans obviously very far left, but I'm also a comic. And so I understand how, you know, I understand why it's confusing for a lot of comics, but I don't think there's anything wrong with just being like, you know what, like what you did earlier is like, I was stupid. I said fucked up things. I'm trying to be better now.
Yeah,
But so many comics just want to dig in and double down because they can't be owned. Do you know what I mean? Like, and honestly, not just comics, that's everybody's fucking problem right now. Is it? No one will just be like, you know what, I fucked up. I'm sorry.
They don't want to grow, which is, if you ask me, the skill.
Okay, but
and it's also it's not funny if you keep telling the same joke from 20 years ago.
Of course,
you know, that's just not funny. And I think when there's a takedown, sometimes it's not a takedown. Sometimes it's like, hey, that's not funny. If you know what there is to know now, like if you're telling a trans joke and it's a bad trans joke, it's not that, oh, you can't make fun of trans people. There's a lot of things funny about trans people, a lot of things funny about rape, but depending on where you put it, you know, as a joke teller, right?
Yeah.
So if you're putting the funny where it isn't, and I say, hey, that's not funny, and you say, hey, what can I say? I'm like, you can say everything. You're saying that into a microphone. Oh, I'm being stifled. I'm like, there's a mic in front of you with an audience. You're not being stifled.
Well, here's how. Listen, you try to grow with the times. Of course, I'm not doing now what I did years ago because I grew as a person and as a performer. If you don't keep writing, you're gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna go up there and talk about Nixon. You know, you keep writing and try to, you know, evolve. But and I'm a moderate person. I lean more. Years ago, I leaned more to the right. Now I lean more to the left, especially because of the last 4 years. But who decides where the line is drawn? That's the problem. Everybody thinks they have, like if I'm on stage somewhere and someone yells out something like, "You're not funny." Okay, if they yelled out to me, "You're not funny," okay, I can't be funny. But when somebody says, "You're not funny," they're trying to speak for the whole audience. And the same with.
Well, it depends. Are they Arab?
Yes. See, but okay, so now you get somebody at anybody. Listen, someone could find something Brian Regan says or Gaffigan. They go, "Oh, that's not right," and they're the funniest, cleanest comics out there. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's jokes that I told in my first album that I probably wouldn't tell now.
Oh yeah, me too.
And is that because I'm scared of the mob, quote unquote?
Yeah,
maybe a little bit, but maybe that's not a terrible thing. Like maybe fear of reprisal is how every other group in the world has always managed to get through life in a way that we're just not used to feeling that. Like there's so much shit that we just take for granted, and there's never been any way for the people who are hurt by it to speak up about it. There's never been a medium. Whereas I promise you, like, I don't mean to be hyperbolic here, but a Medgar Evers or something like that, like, God forbid he whistles at a white lady or something like that, he gets fucking, lynched and murdered. Obviously, I'm not comparing the same. I'm just saying it's like, we're used to having no consequences. When I say we, I'm talking about like white dudes, whatever.
Yeah, but
we're used to having no consequences for anything we say. And now all of a sudden there's like a megaphone coming back at us, and it feels like shit is being taken from us. But the fact is, we're the only ones who ever had that privilege, for lack of a better word.
But see, that the difference is, and people don't. Okay, I'm a Jew. I've dealt with anti-Semitism my whole life, hearing negative stuff, going in the bathroom, seeing swastikas carved into the wall. So I dealt and lived,
And you do run the media, in their defense.
Yeah, yes. And we have lasers too now that start fires from the sky. I don't know. I don't know where the line is. I know where I got to draw my own line, but you can't hurt this career any more than it's been hurt. But
let's see if we can, because Rich, I happen to have this DVD on me right now.
Oh God, look how old that is.
2006.
So
There are the following tracks.
No, that's 2006. Okay, 15 years ago, and that was Listen, I used to work urban clubs, all urban.
By the way, we live in New York City. We all do urban clubs. It's black clubs. It's black audiences.
No, I was doing in Jersey, the Peppermint Lounge, Terminal D, places. Listen, they were strictly urban club. Some white comics worked there, and the stuff I would say there killed. God forbid I did that in a white audience. Some of the most hypocritical people on the planet. I
mean, Chemda, I will say that has been my experience of doing comedy forever. It's like a lot of the stuff that, even as you felt like, this is borderline, this feels weird, like, would kill in front of black and brown audiences. Destroy. I used to have this long chunk I used to do about merengue. It's actually one of the bits I enjoyed performing the most, because it was just a really fun, active joke, and it would destroy if there were Latinos.
Oh, I'm not saying I
know you're not, but I'm just saying, it's like what Rich is describing is an experience that I've experienced too, that there are certain jokes that if you did them in front of a white audience, it would feel awkward. Whereas if you do them in front of a black audience or a Latino audience, they
wish there was a saying for this.
Yeah.
Know your audience. No, I mean, I experienced that even doing kids parties. A WASPy party would be different. Those kids would be different. You do it for an Indian family, they would have a different reaction. A black family would have a different reaction to the same stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how we call urban rooms instead of saying like black audience, because we live in New York City.
Thing, though.
I know,
but the industry does.
Comedy Cellar isn't an urban environment. It's right in Manhattan, in an urban city. Like, urban is a city. It's just funny that that's what we call black people. That's side note. It doesn't matter.
I was doing a club 2 weeks ago at Stress Factory, which is outdoors in a tent, and there was a table of black girls, and next to them were the whitest white people on the planet. So I'm talking to the table, and the black girl goes, today's my birthday or something. And this white lady started clapping. I go, you wouldn't be clapping if she moved next door to you. And and it's true. That, anyhow, it killed on stage. Even a lady laughed. But some people, black audiences are more, they're more real than what, you know, I'd rather have just a mixed audience, whoever. But I don't know. It's white females that are ruining everything.
And that's who they are. Rich Voss, everybody. Christian Finnegan, thank you so much, Christian.
Oh my gosh, it has been a pleasure. I've missed you guys. It's nice to see you again. And have you guys gotten no sleep so far, right?
Right.
No.
Muscle through.
Yep.
And when do you go? When do you finish?
Don't remind Keith.
Don't worry about it.
We have 13 hours left. Don't tell Keith.
Oh, who's headlining?
You
Who's
are.
the last act?
And who's your last act? I closed it one year. Well, I closed it. That's when I was scheduled. Who is your last guest?
We have the host of Am I the Asshole podcast, which is a podcast we really love. What they do is they take Reddit scenarios that ask, Am I the asshole? And then we run through them. So it's very fun. And also it's like good, like it gets us heated up. So I feel like we'll get that second wind at the end. Like, let's decide who's an asshole. So it's Danny and Sarah from Am I the Asshole podcast.
Oh,
Well, great to promote their stuff.
And that's Christian.
What were you asking me though?
How do people follow you online? What do you want them to do?
They should probably go. Probably the easiest way is to ye old Twitter machine.
Yeah.
It's twitter.com/Christ Finnegan is me. And I have 4 albums on iTunes and Pandora and Spotify and all that jazz. And my 5th one /special called Show Your Work will be released sometime in the early spring. I shot it in the backyard here at QED in front of 28 lovely people, directed by your friend Victor Varnado.
All right. Well, I'll try to stay alive and see it.
Yes,
right.
I'm super proud of it, and we made some lemonade, so
right.
I'm excited that, and that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Cool. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Christian.
Bye, guys. Toodaloo.
Later.
Have a lovely.
Bye.
I don't know what I was going to say.
You don't have to. Sometimes I feel like you say, here's the deal, and then you hope something comes. Is that true or false?
All the time. Because when I do radio or podcasts, like dead air on stage, you could pause, take it.
Right.
To me on radio or podcast, I'm going, oh my God, 2 seconds feels like a year.
Yeah, but it's weird that you use that in your vows. Here's the thing. And then
Like, fuck. Oh, there's a breeze. Like the wind, you are.
You guys were at the roast we did, right?
it was really great.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, let me introduce real quick. Here's our buddy, Frank Liotti. Come and say hi, Frank. Yeah, I was at Caroline's. We were at that
Yes.
the Voss roast. I thought
Not Caroline's. It was at
No,
the
Village
Village Underground.
I'm sorry, the Village Underground, of course. And I happened to be sitting a booth that was right next to Anthony Cumia, and Anthony was, I would say, drunk, right? And he's yelling shit at you. And not only are you sober, you're a pro at these roasts. Happens to be a roast, and you're really shutting him down, and you're funny as fuck.
Thank you.
All his jokes happen to be to allude to he's a pedophile because he's always with much younger women, and it's hilarious that he's a Nazi. Is that odd as fuck?
Well, first of all, when we were doing that roast, people killed so hard, and I go, I gotta close, I gotta follow. I mean, people slaughtered.
Yeah.
So I'm a fucking wreck in my head. I mean, I roasted Trump. I'm in what's his name? Michael Cohen, Trump's ex-lawyer. Who went to jail? Was it Michael Cohen?
Yeah.
I'm in his book from the Trump roast. He quoted my joke.
Oh.
The reason Trump puts his name on all of his buildings so the banks know which ones to take back. And so I'm at this Trump roast, 2,000 people, everybody's, and I'm scared and I pulled it off. So now my roast, I'm going, well, I got to follow everybody. So from the beginning, I started doing well with what I had. But then when Anthony started heckling, it put me in club mode where now this is my fucking element. So I said, how do you hail a cab like that?
When
And
you're
you know
on
what?
Nazi salute,
Yeah. I see the thing with Anthony, he was drunk. But the truth of the matter is, he supports comedy. He loves comedy. He is definitely right wing. He's definitely right wing.
How do you get past? And I mean this also for
no.
me, because I do think he's so funny. So I'm trying to find a way to get past this. I don't know how. I saw a video where he's yelling at that infamous things, yelling his 19-year-old girlfriend or something. And he's saying, "Oh, you're treating me like a common N-word." N-word comes out 4 times. Pretty fast, the video gets scrubbed. How do I convince myself to look past that?
Pretend you dated her. No.
See, but you know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know. I didn't see the video. I didn't see that video. I did a show last week. He was there, and I really had serious questions to him. Because listen, to me, in life, if you're a racist, not him, in life, if you're a
Right.
racist, you're anti-Semitic. It goes hand in hand.
okay.
It just goes hand in hand. And I was talking to him, and I think he's so conservative, but okay, this is what I want to believe, that he takes individuals for who they are as the individual. You know what I mean? Like him and Patrice listen, I don't want to go out and call somebody.
Patrice is the only example people have.
With Anthony?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's like
well, because I don't know Anthony like that too. I don't know who his good friends are. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying that it's frustrating with that because Patrice is dead and like Anthony leaning on that or people allowing that, like, oh, he had this black friend who
well, that's bullshit when someone says I had a black friend. Go ahead.
That's basically what bringing up Patrice O'Neill always feels for me when Cumia is involved, because it's like, hey, he hired this guy, like he was joking around with this guy. Patrice was okay with it. But from what I understand, Patrice was not okay with anybody. He's just going to work, just like everybody else who gets discriminated against. You still have to go to work for the man. You still have to go to work for a person who thinks that you're a piece of shit, but you're swatting it because where's he going? Where's Patrice O'Neill going? Who hosts the show?
Yeah.
It's Anthony Cumia. So it's not like, oh yeah, he hired this one guy and that guy didn't like kick his ass every other day, so he's cool with black people. That's what bothers me about the Patrice O'Neill.
Okay, but here's the thing too, and I'm not sticking up for him because I'm not in his head, and I don't hang with him like that. Okay. Back in the day, I was really more close. I was close with Opie back in the day. We played golf together. Me and him went on vacation. My wife and his wife were friends. We had a fallout. I've been to Anthony's house once in my life. You know what I mean? So I was more of a guest.
You were going to work.
I was it. But I guess you call work. We weren't getting paid, but I guess we were getting paid in promotion.
It's still work. You're promoting.
Yeah, promoting. Yeah. Okay. So that was my relationship with him. I don't know. I don't follow. I'll do his podcast maybe twice a year. And when I do it, I always argue against what he believes in, just to have, because I don't believe in that. So just to get his point of view and my rational point of view. So look, it's not like it's not like me and Norton or me and Bobby. We're good friends. He's a industry friend, I guess. With me, I don't hear him. He's not gonna. I don't know. I can't answer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you asked me, say you asked a question like, is Bobby anti-Asian? I know Bobby like that. I go, no fucking way. I know him like that. I know Norton like that. I know Colin like that. I know Keith like that. I know, I don't really know Anthony like that. I don't know how much of that is an act with him or how much is real. That's what I don't know.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know if look, it went real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I used to listen to radio, and there was a guy on ABC Radio, Jay Diamond. He was so right wing. He was on ABC. Then he got fired, and then he went to WOR, and he became left wing. So is this an act with this guy, Jay Diamond? What's he do? You know what I mean? So I don't know, Anthony.
But if I saw otherwise behind the scenes video of the guy you're talking about, saying some bullshit, I'd be like, well, now I know the fact,
Well, but how many celebrities have you heard said behind the scene bullshit, but they're really not that person? I'm not sticking up for them. I'm just saying.
I know.
There's many situations like that. Just like we were talking about earlier. You could have said something 10 or 20 years ago. I don't know who it was. They brought up that he said this 20 years ago, and they're going after him, or 30 years ago. Oh, listen, I was a fucking crack addict 35 years ago.
Big difference.
Well, I was a drug addict.
No, he's saying that there were mistakes and decisions there were decisions that he might not stand by because he's not a crack addict anymore, I'm assuming.
Well, no, but I'm sober, but I'm a different person now than I was 35 years ago.
Well, I'll ask you when I find your N-word tape. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But I don't, like I said, I don't know him.
Right.
Where I can make that. I'm
trying to feel better, I guess,
Well, if you disagree, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure. Did you keep the you and Anthony back and forth in the YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. The people are going to love it.
The whole roast is on YouTube for free.
Good.
Yeah. We took out, I think in the extras, Patrice from the Grave is in the extras. We showed that there.
Yeah. The whole thing was put together great. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, let's talk about. I have nothing.
Well, let's say hi to Frank. How's your life going? How you doing?
Can't
Frank,
fucking
thanks
talk
for your...
about Anthony Cumia. You go into that fucking office room and there's like a plastic figurine of Trump and with a plastic Nancy Pelosi giving it a blowjob. That energy is dark when you walk in there. It creeps me out. They asked me to do the show. I said, no, I'm afraid. I don't want to. The gays already hate me, and my own people hate me enough. I can't do that show.
Do you actually get hate from the gay community?
My album's called Confederate Fag. And they didn't even listen to it or why. And they immediately, look at this one. They thought I was right wing because I wrote it. It was just a joke, a play on words.
What's the joke that they're most upset about?
Probably, I love Ash Wednesday because you can tell from the little smudge who hates faggots.
Oh, that's accurate.
Because you're a Jew, Rich. Catholicism, the smudge.
They hate us.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean if you're gay, they give you a small smudge? Boy,
Catholics are against.
No, Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is that day where you see people on the street and they have that smudge, and sometimes their skin is oily and most of it wipes off and it just looks like a fleck.
Oh.
What's it like to know you just got Rich's criticism and you can't edit your CD, Frank?
I'm not. Jesus. You should have heard Richard behind the scenes.
Hey, dude, Frank, you got to share with Rich the story I heard from Kyle.
The teeth?
I don't know
about the teeth.
The one about the boyfriend.
Who? Oh, I can't right now. I can't.
Someday, Frank. Someday. Oh my God.
Can't right now.
All right. Oh.
I look like I play with Scotch tape. Put that hat on.
Wait, you can't right now because someone's in the room? Can you go?
Like over the curtain. It's like the set of Streetcar Named Desire. There's like a curtain. That's it. There's nothing. There's no privacy.
Could I tell the story since you can't hear me? Okay.
So, Keith, do we bring in Kyle Thompson?
Let's bring in Kyle Thompson so that we don't get too backed up. Thanks again, Frank, for your time and patience. The great Kyle Thompson's going to join us here. So Frank has a husband
No, I don't use that word.
A boyfriend.
We're not at that. Yeah.
Okay.
16. Yeah. 16 years of
16
sexless
years.
bliss. Yeah.
Okay. And sexless bliss. They both cheat on each other, but it's understood, so it's not too offensive, right?
Oh, I don't know if it's understood, but you
But
know,
you both
I'm
do
old,
it.
you know, the way you used to do it was just do it. And then just don't
Right.
get caught. Now it's like we're polyamorous. Now it's
But
like
you have a
everybody's name for
boyfriend?
fucking everything.
He has
Yeah.
a long-term, yeah.
That's gay.
Yeah.
He's putting it together.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and that
But it
explains the
doesn't-
earlier stuff. Okay. so Frank gets a text from the guy that the boyfriend is sleeping with
Okay.
saying, "Hey, I want to spend, am I saying this right? I want to spend Christmas
Well,
with
it was like I had all of his presents wrapped under the tree, and I sat there all alone while he couldn't be with me to open them. You're standing in the way. It was like that.
So
It was like
picture,
that. I'm tired of sneaking around in my Jeep or in his business. It was like that. It was bad.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me make this clear.
Yeah.
This is out of nowhere. You get a text from
I
a
found
person.
it. I found the email.
Oh, so this email was sent to your actual boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. And the email said, I'm tired of sneaking around.
Yeah.
I was at Christmas, but this guy's in the way. Frank's in the way, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Okay. So we're caught up. Keith,
I keep
continue.
pretending to drink, and there's nothing in this cup.
Look how
I took another
excited.
pop before.
Look how excited Keith looks. Like
This
this.
is right. So
I was
that-
going to tell the Sweet 16 story of when I woke up on someone's teeth. This room needs like sage. It's gotten very dark since I've been in the green rooms, depressing. Like Rich said one of the funniest fucking jokes ever, and no one laughed.
Which one was it?
The one about you being at Olive Garden, and you were like, you don't want them to move in next door to you.
Oh, yeah, it was man. Yeah,
I don't want to
Everyone
be.
looked like seriously, it looked like the Brady Bunch in these fucking squares waiting for them to call action. Everyone was just kind of like,
Well, I don't want to be me
fucking-
too. Do you know how it goes?
I get
So-
it.
I got that wrong, but thank you for clearing that up.
Our pleasure. The next generation, it's our pleasure. So, so then,
Look, can I just bring something up? And this
yes,
may not,
please.
Ken is not going to like this. Just
Okay.
let's
did
bring
I
up
do?
Harvey Weinstein for like a second. Okay.
Okay.
As somebody who's spent the better part of 3 decades working in restaurants, literally 5 minutes giving that job of the hut a blowjob, 5 minutes, or
Mhm.
30 years of serving artichoke dip. Like I wanted to get Me Too'd so that I could get a decent agent because I already spent 150 grand on grad school to act, and it didn't work.
Wait, you
So
blew Harvey Weinstein?
No, I'm saying I would rather do that than have to like ruin your psyche and soul by working in a restaurant for 30 years. 5 minutes
Oh.
in that office.
Oh, then
on
Frank, you
Greenwich
should
Street.
be a sex worker instead of pursuing something else because they were not pursuing that.
I can't
So
be a
you-
sex worker. I can't do that.
You just said you wanted to be.
No, I'm saying
Just
instead
now
of
you said you
serving
wanted to
artichoke
blow
dip-
someone. You wanted to blow someone to be set up financially.
he would like to be.
Honestly,
forced
the
to do
energy
it.
in this room is it's a little too awful because this show's usually funny. And
Bonnie
it's,
had
it's
that.
like so grim.
Bonnie had that dream.
I'm saying that
Now.
as someone who served artichoke dip for almost 30 years,
Mhm.
I'd rather somebody had made a pass at me so I could get it over with in 5 minutes
Oh,
instead of having to be treated like shit for 3 decades. That's what I meant. I was
Well-
half kidding. I'm not saying I want to be a sex worker and set up a 900 number.
I don't know how to tell you that joke is about you being a sex worker.
well,
It's not really
and,
a joke.
and that's offensive to artichoke dip. This comic used to walk on stage. He was so deadpan and so Jewish, and he would walk on. His opening line would be, "In Harvey Weinstein's defense."
Right.
That was like during the middle of all the shit in his defense. He just said those words in his defense. Like
Yeah,
the
I like that Frank comes in and he's like, this energy is bad. Can we all just blow Weinstein and have a fucking better life already? Jesus Christ, I'm tired of artichokes and I'm tired of, I'll just
You had
choke.
to talk about that than
Oh,
like
wait a-
the suppression of people. Like, I mean, it is fucking quarantine for 3 fucking months. I'd rather talk about blowing Harvey Weinstein than like oppressed groups. I've been
Wait,
applying for scholarships for the last 4 months. Let me tell you something. My dad was a janitor, and apparently there's no scholarship for me. It's like there's a lot in the culture right now that is sucking the humor out of everyday activities. Like it's a constant barrage of somebody schooling somebody else. Somebody saying you can't joke about that, but they can joke
You know,
about
you're
that.
doing
but I
that
can't
right
joke
now.
about that.
You're doing it.
Yeah, I can't wear my red hat anymore, my Cardinals hat, because I'm scared of, I wanted to hang a flag on my house, and my wife.
Mhm.
Why?
wouldn't
You
let me.
forgot you're in America?
No, because of my wife. So I did hang it, but I also put the rainbow flag to neutralize the other flag.
I get you, man. I couldn't wear
Sometimes
my
heroes
flag
don't
shirts.
wear a cape. Sometimes they just post flags. So Keith, what happened? So the email was found by Frank. This is horrifying, and I'm sure very heartbreaking. Even if you have like like you said, don't get caught. If that's the situation, you must be heartbroken. Also, there's a relationship going on behind your back. What happens after that, Keith?
Do you say? I thought he wrote it directly to you, and then you show this to your boyfriend and say, "Hey."
It was a rough draft. Yeah, I'd rather talk about something else.
Sure.
That wasn't one of the things that the guys in the other room
You
told me I was
gotcha.
going to
I
talk
didn't mean
about.
nothing.
Yeah.
Done.
It's a little too.
Done.
It just happened 2 weeks ago. So
I'm
it's-
sorry,
Sure.
Frank.
Yeah.
That's really heartbreaking.
2 weeks ago. When did they celebrate Christmas?
I would like to say why I thought it was okay is because you put a bunch of this stuff on social media. So I
for
hope
about
you.
five, it was for about 5 minutes.
Well, of course, everybody
Okay,
knows you
yeah.
wait 10 minutes, and I apologize.
So
All right then.
So you're almost done with school, right?
No,
are
I
you
just
doing?
went back.
Oh yeah, right. How are you doing
Yeah.
with school? What are you back for?
It's horrible. Speech pathology. I'm physics and stuff like that. I got tired of being poor. I got tired of not being able to go out to restaurants and afford dental work. Honestly,
That's
I just
fair.
got sick of it. So, and it's kind of like, I think the business would have caught on by now. If there were only so many decades I can sit there with Esty giving me the fucking stink eye.
Yeah, but I could
Mm,
see
yeah.
you as in so many movies. Just looking at you, could be.
But apparently agents can't. And it's kind of like without that, it's, not going to work. So I
don't know.
just want to make some money, work with kids, do something in service a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there? What's your drink of choice?
Decaffeinated tea.
Yeah.
I don't drink. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm out of it. And I have a bottle of water.
How
What
is
are
your
you
night?
smoking? Is that a cigarette or like a clove cigarette? Is it,
That is
or is it pot?
It's a disco cigarette.
What is Donna Sumner going to start singing?
Sumner.
If we're
Summer,
lucky.
Donna Summer.
Well, Rich is straight, so he doesn't need to know Donna Summer.
I love Donna's. What are you, MacArthur's Park? She did it better than Tom Jones.
Shots fired, Tom.
My father.
Wait a minute. Was it Tom Jones or Roy? Was it Roy? Or who's that guy that does that falsetto in that MacArthur's Park, Keith?
Well, there's a couple of them that do.
Oh
this.
no! That original late '60s one.
I'm 46.
How about this? Frank Enom995 on the chat is saying, I'd pay for Frank to choke me a little.
Mm-hmm. With what? My hands or?
Oh, well, let's ask. With his hands or what? He also said, spit some artichoke dip in my face. He's getting sassy with you. Are you
my.
into this kind of thing?
He already said no. He's not a sex worker.
NYU's
Henry.
1,900 a credit, so what's his price? He said he was going to pay for it, so yeah.
Okay, so for 1 credit amount, Frank will choke you and spit artichoke
With my
dip in your
hands,
face.
and spit artichoke, but it has to be vegan. Vegan
What are the other options? Choking with
hands.
Okay.
Do you get
It
into
betters.
fights with the audience on stage, Frank?
Not for a long time. Not for a long time. Usually, if I have, it's always been at some gay resort. It's been usually a gay gig if I have.
Why? Why do you
Wow.
think?
Because it's a culture that likes women. It likes the ladies. Like I can do shit that I've been doing for years and bomb, and a woman can walk on stage and go, hey, and get an applause break. And it's like, you just look at who's working, who can like really fill a room with gay audiences. And it's, Kathy Griffin, Margaret Cho, Chelsea Handler. In the New York scene, it's Jessica Curson. It's, There's no gay dude that has an A-list gay following.
But what
it's
if
a comic?
does a straight guy do well in the gay club?
Not really. They usually prefer female comedians
Oh,
in gay rooms, so to speak.
Do you have any gay like people that you look up to that you would go see?
As far
Gay
as
guys?
comedians,
Yeah.
oh my God, yeah, sure. I used to. Oh, who did I used to love? Jim David when I first started. But who am I forgetting?
well, I know who's hilarious, but I don't know if he's out of the
Who?
closet. I don't want to. I don't know if he.
Oh, yeah. I think I know who you mean.
I think everybody knows who you mean.
No.
It's time.
He's heavy set.
Well, he is now, yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
not.
he is.
Yeah, he's not from.
Because I
I
remember when I was heavy set, he yelled at me for eating wings at Comedy Cellar. He was like, "I see you're eating Alfie."
oh wait. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the voice.
Wait, who am I forgetting? Not Jim David, but who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone from the New York scene, a homosexual who's really funny. I forget who. I can't.
Oh,
think of
you're
who.
talking Mateo.
No, before, like from the
Tim
Jim
Dillon,
David.
James Adomian. I mean,
Before, that's like
there
the
are
newer. That's like my
huge-
generation.
there's
Oh, Larry
I'm trying to think of-
Larry Amoros.
I'm trying to think of what comic I used to love when I first started, but like was only in open mics. I can't remember.
Well,
But
then
it's
I
not
don't know
from-
how other people are gonna remember then.
We just got to name gay comics.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
George Wallace. He gay? I don't know if he's gay. Oh, did I just say something? I don't know if he.
Kyle Thompson, how you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing?
Kyle, you're from the younger generation, of course. You're a musician, so maybe this is different. What are your thoughts on cancel culture?
Okay. Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
Musicians don't get canceled.
Right.
don't
They can
get-
do whatever they want.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Look at me. I'm here. Cancel culture. The hot take. What do I think? It's late in the night, and I don't want
Right.
to say anything to offend anybody, so I don't know.
There's your answer.
That's the
That's
answer.
it. Exactly that.
What instrument do you play?
Ooh, that's a hard question to answer, Rich Foss.
I don't wanna
What
put
kind of
myself
jokes
out-
do you tell? What kind of jokes do you tell, Rich?
Oh.
Offensive.
Nice. It's a good answer, but you've practiced it. I haven't had time to practice mine. We'll come back to that
I
question.
have seen Kyle play the drums like I've
Amazing.
never seen anyone play the drums before. He is
Yeah.
amazing. I've also
Thank you.
seen him pick up a guitar and play like he could just get off the drums, play the guitar equally as well, and just bring down the house. This is a musician. Like
Thank you.
I think for a lot of musicians, you could say, what instrument do you play? This is a musician that plays music. Does that make sense?
Would you give up all that hard work to blow somebody for 5 minutes?
I like that question. When you, and I do.
All right,
I would
guys.
say.
I'll see you soon. Have a good night.
All right, good
Good
night.
you-
Frank.
seeing you, Frank.
Is he
He's got to
mad
get
at
back
me
to his
for that
sex
one?
work. Yeah.
Was he mad at me for that one?
I think he's mad at me, but I don't
Who
know.
gives a shit? That's so fucked up. I'm sorry, but you can't come into the room and say, I hate that what you guys are talking about. I hate the energy in the room, and I'm sick of people telling me what to say. But you're walking in here talking about what you think we should say. So let's fucking talk about it. Then which one of us got sensitive about it? The
Hold
one
on
that
a
was
second.
screaming, everybody gets all sensitive about it. I'm not yelling at you, Rich.
No, I know, but he just said I'd blow somebody, and I just made a joke, and then
Yeah, it was very
yelled at
funny. Who cares? Who cares who gets offended?
Is this cancel culture? Is this what we're doing right now?
He canceled himself.
No, I think he's not upset about anything. I don't think he's upset about anything said just now.
Yes,
I think
he
he
is.
was like, I think he was upset about maybe me bringing up the story I didn't know was a secret. And then now it looks like you guys are just talking and not including.
No,
me.
I think
shit.
you're wrong about all of it. I think he was upset coming in. I think he gave you permission to talk about it. I think you did. I think he's very upset about a lot of things happening in his life. And it was one of those, if it's hysterical, it's historical. We had nothing to do with that. We didn't bring any of that energy in. He helped that energy if it did. And if you don't like the way things are being talked about, then fucking talk about something else. But
I
everything
think-
we brought up is why you canceling me. We're actually changing the subject to your fucking whim. No, fuck that.
I think
Every-
Ray Gooch is building up an army right now.
That's right. I was gonna say every marathon there's something. Next year, Rich is like, so I'm reading Facebook, right?
I know now because he's friends with Jessica, who I'm friends with.
He's friends with my girlfriend.
Oh,
Who cares?
I know. I'm just saying.
yeah, but I'm not. Whatever. He's the one who made the whole thing about blowing somebody for 5 minutes, right?
Yes. And then he said, well, what can I say? And we're like, we're trying to talk about something that you can say. We're talking about the subject that you brought up, you hate it. We're talking about the subject you didn't bring up, you hate it. We're talking about your school and you're angry about your situation. Then that's what you are. You're angry. So be angry and then hang up and then blame other people. You came in with that energy.
Yeah, I've had nothing but pleasantries since I've been on.
Yeah, and we've been fucking and supposedly we didn't laugh enough at your joke. Fuck off.
It was a good joke.
It was amazing. How did you do it? Can I blow you, please?
You really are a legend, right? Ladies and gentlemen, my buddy for I don't even know how many years now, since I came to New York almost, Adam Brown. How you doing, Adam? Take yourself off mute and let me know about what are you seeing with the vibe in the room. And we'll say goodbye to Rich.
I guess I won't talk about the blowjob I just gave.
Well, you saved 20 years of delivering guacamole.
Yeah.
Okay, you knew it's artichoke dip, but you got to say guacamole to dig it a little bit more.
It is YouTube right now. You motherfucker.
Jesus.
How's it going?
Holy Jesus.
I know what's going to piss you off. I love Cosby's new stuff. Well, I think I disagree. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Wait, can I say something controversial? But nobody freak out. I just want to have the effect on you. And then you sit there and take it. And anything you say will be wrong because I'm sad.
Maybe he just lost a ton on Dogecoin.
That could be it.
Brought him down.
AMC is pissing me off.
Listen, I was going to watch 2 episodes of Madam Secretary, but this.
This is drama.
Okay. And I'm in love with the lead actress in that. But this is way better. Because every time I've done your show, it was in your studio and it was just us and this is what I'm talking about. This is going to prepare me for fighting tomorrow with Bonnie. I'm like, bitch, you got nothing on keeping the girl. What are you kidding me? Oh, yeah? Well, let's bring a gay guy in for breakfast and offend him. Hey, gay guy, can you bring me the bacon? Ah, fuck it, just blow me. And I gotta run. Listen,
all right.
Thank you for having me.
Always
being here.
Whatever. Whatever the fuck. I don't want to. What am I gonna plug? Nothing. Go free YouTube Voss Roast. It's free on YouTube Voss Roast.
There you go. And
It's
the
the best
podcast
roast.
is My Wife Hates Me with him and Bonnie McFarlane, of course.
Or on HBO Max, Colin Quinn and Friends drive-in special. Something on HBO Max we did. Real quick before I leave.
It's like you tricked us. You acted like you didn't tell us everything, and you just did.
Oh, real quick.
Which is fine, just funny.
It's the Columbo
real
approach.
Right. One more thing.
One more thing. Hold on. Let me get that list. Hold on. Did you guys, last night it came out, did anybody see the new Denzel movie on HBO Max?
Not yet. I know what you mean. Some detective movie. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see it.
I'm gonna
I
go
hear
up.
it's shitty.
I'm gonna go up and look on Facebook and see what was that? What's his name? Ray Liotta? What's the guy?
Ray Liotta.
Liotti.
Liotti. Oh boy, I burned.
That's got to be rough.
I burnt another bridge. There goes my shows at the duplex. Anyhow, I never worked there, but I heard it's a gay club. Listen.
We got it.
We figured it out.
Thank you. I hope your guitar string breaks at your next concert. Okay. Listen.
Which concert?
I love piano. Anyhow.
Me too.
Was that gay enough to end on? See, Frank, I like piano. Anyhow, I'll see you guys later.
All
Thank
right,
you.
later,
Oh,
buddy.
bye, Rich. Oh my goodness. I guess I do have to fight with someone. Well, come on.
Legend Rich Voss.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I still had to steal a screenshot. I'm showing my kids. I'd be like,
I was
"Hold on,
genuinely
fucking
scared
wait."
to jab him, but I did it anyway.
Sure,
Good
you
for
got
you.
it.
Yeah,
You
you
got
got
it.
I know, yeah, that was balls. he could make you feel pretty stupid fast.
I figure he's been talking a long time. You know, he's got to get out of here.
Right.
That's my chance.
Imagine that's your talent. You're just real good at shitting on people.
It's a comedian dream. It's awesome.
Right. By the way, speaking of music, Kyle's album came out the same day that Tom Hanks got COVID.
Yeah,
Aw.
man. Yeah, that was the thing.
What?
He's like,
We're at
"Hey
the-
guys, did you hear the news?" Yeah, I heard the news.
Well, we're at the show and they were closing the schools in New York that night, and it was and people were like, "Oh man, should we even be here? Like, this is crazy." And it was kind of, I was like, "Oh, whatever." And then someone was like, "Guess what?" I'm like, "What?" Tom Hanks died. And everyone was like, "Whoa!" And all of a sudden, like that became like this like new metric. Like not all the schools closing. It was like Tom Hanks has it, so it's like, what do we do now? You know. And then that was it. We played the show, and everyone went home. And it's the last time I hung out with that many people since then. It's crazy.
Yeah, I met the very last Keith and the Girls show we did was Kyle with Bridget, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
talked about that show being within that week. I feel like so it was very close together. Those two.
Yeah,
And may I say, I just read on Facebook, if I'm reading this right, it was a pretty long post. The Footlight as a venue is closed. It's now an online situation.
Yeah.
But and she was happy to have the relief of not having that particular club for right now, but she's still doing online shows.
Yeah, that's called Footlight TV. You guys should check that out. You can look, all their info is on Instagram, and there's links and stuff. But basically, it's like bands do live performances. They record it with a bunch of cameras and edit it together, and then you buy that, and then you can buy like special features, like interviews and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a '90s style, like live band interview show, but like done over the internet. It's pretty smart idea.
Love it. I'm going to take this opportunity to pee because there are no little bitches in the room that will think that I'm just walking out on them. Oh, no. What can I say? All right. Anyway, I'm going to put my headphones on because I can't miss a thing. I love everyone in this room, and I'm so excited to be here, but I got to take this opportunity. This is only my second time peeing. Don't tell my body that because it's probably a bad idea. Good to see you. I'll be right back.
Not me. I got a trough down here and everything.
I wish.
Do an upper decker.
In your own place. She's so loopy. She's like, "Fuck this thing." Then tomorrow she's like, "What the hell did I do?" I was saying that I put money in AMC and through Robinhood, and then Robinhood stops, stops trading all of a sudden, but the big hedge funds can keep trading. So that's not good for people. And right now, what should have been hundreds, if not thousands, I have $48.50.
Oh wow.
No, $25.48.
Big money.
Yeah. This was gonna change my life. Now the exciting part is my first stock might be part of a class action lawsuit. That's what's exciting.
And technically, your life has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm extra. I mean, this is the first stock I ever had. I'm staring at my phone. My heart's going up and down. I can't even buy takeout in New York for what I made. But it's what happened to you?
Pretty good too.
What do you do?
Well, not that bad, but so I basically it's like it looks like a mountain range. Like I was on the shit side of every time.
Okay.
I was just I was late. And I double dipped too on Friday to try to make something back. Like, so I bought, basically I went in, what was it? Wednesday. And, everything was looking good and got money in, and hopefully the next day it was going to skyrocket. So I even got a little more, but then they shut it all down. They shut it down. And I had a lot in Express. And I saw the news first that they were stopping the trading, and I was like, oh fuck, that's really bad, because then how does it rise if nobody can buy it,
Right.
or at least the majority of the people who are doing this can't buy it, because everyone's going through Robinhood or one of those apps.
The little guy can't buy it. The little guy could sell it.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't
So
help
it
us
just
at all.
starts plummeting.
Yeah.
And you're just watching your money melt away. So you're like, do you cut your losses? But then you can't buy it back, because usually that's the strategy. All right, fuck it, it's gonna go lower. I'll sell it now, and then I'll just buy more lower, and then eventually it'll come back, and you can hopefully. But they took away the whole strategy at once. It really fucking sucked. So I lost. I only started investing in the beginning of COVID, and I rode the Tesla fucking rocket, and I fucked up a couple things, but I got the Tesla thing, and I bought Moderna before they even were on the map, so I did pretty well.
That's
in a
the
couple
vaccine
things.
company.
Yeah, I bought that for $20, pretty early on.
Do you play with this stuff at all, Kyle? Or did the news excite you at all?
The news is very fascinating, but I just got my first credit card, and the limit's low.
Okay.
So I'm not on that spectrum quite yet, but it's cool. I get it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Understanding all that stuff and then watching this play out, and obviously learning a lot more about it and stuff. It's bananas what's happening. It's like world changing shit.
To feel like you're part of, I just care about the money, but to feel like you're on part of some bigger mission, fuck these guys that, their job is to hope that businesses fail. No, not my precious GameStop. Fuck you. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of like the end of V for Vendetta, where they're all standing there with the masks, or we got you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was listening from the bathroom, and it sounds like you guys are rich now from being so smart.
Yeah.
Am I getting it right?
I gave back half of what I had made from over the pandemic, which sucks.
Yeah,
because I was the slow and steady was working, and then it's I don't know. That's why I can't even feel too. It was it would have been too easy. It's you're I was. The idea of fucking over the hedge funds was cool. But I honestly got in because I was trying to make a bunch of money real quick.
Speaking of money, I'm in haterade mode.
Somebody was gonna get
I need to continue, so let's do this. Adam Brown, a couple of years ago when we did our show at the Footlight, super fun. I was still married to some idiot, and you were so sweet. According to him, you gave me a card because it was around the time where I had just got out of surgery and whatever. And you also gave Keith a birthday card. This is the story that I was told. And in my card, for some reason, I got $100 from you. And I was like, that's weird. Why would Adam put $100 in my card? I was like, are we sure it's not for Keith or something like that? I think that someone decided that you put $100 in my card. If I even had a card, now that I think about it, I think there was a lot going on. This never happened, did it?
It was $100. It was a belated wedding gift.
Oh, okay.
And the story is that because the card was actually for Keith at one point, and it was all glittery, and it said "For you, my son," on this special day or something like that. Because then Lauren had, Hennessy had transitioned, so it was you have son, and then but it was a wedding gift.
Oh well, then thank you.
You're welcome.
Can't tell if
you have a year to do that. So
I can't tell if we stole money from Keith or if we actually got a nice gift from you. So thank you for clearing that up. I was ready to go.
I'm surprised he told you.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right. Well, share what you found in that closet the other day. That's an amazing story.
Xerxes actually found it. He was redoing a little bit of the closet, looking for more outlets or whatever the situation is. And there's been an outlet here that just hasn't worked. You plug something in, it's not, and that happens in an apartment. And he noticed something in the outlet this time where there's sort of like a crack at the top, like a space. And he touched it a little more. The outlet face came out. And he saw, and he's like, and I didn't see this. He came into the kitchen and said, hey, this thing is there. And this is usually the face that you put on when you're trying to cover something. So it's a pretend outlet because there was a hole cut into the wall for like a space that you can hide things in. And you cover it up with this, fake outlet thing and people just ignore it. But because it was cut out wrong, he noticed it and took it out. Then now I'm putting this together, but here's the thing. I just put together something wrong, and I'm glad I ran it to you, by you. And all of my history and thought process and memory of this relationship now has to be weighed by, did I see that right? Did I hear that right? Did I misjudge, or was I being naive? So like, for example, the card, I was wrong because I put together that like, oh, maybe this was another scam, and I owe either you or Keith an apology about this, like because of this other person. So what I'm remembering from that, and I never knew that, Xerxes discovered it, but it takes me back to this other memory that I'm wondering if it's connected. One time I was in the kitchen, and this wall that's in front of me, on the other side of it is the kitchen. I was in the kitchen and I hear, zzz, zzz,
like a phone.
Like when you have a phone on a table
burner in the
or
wall.
so that's what
Fucking crazy.
And I'm hearing
they took
this.
the cash but left the drug phone. Yeah, I like that.
I'm hearing this, and no, this is while we were still together, and I'm like, do you hear that? That's a phone. And we both have our phone, so we're both looking at our phone. It can't be our phone. He's like, you're hearing things. I'm like, that is a clear buzzing. Then after the hearing things, like, oh, maybe it's the neighbors. And I'm like, we are hearing through their ceiling, but in New York, like, you don't know, like sometimes you hear the quietest sounds and the loudest sounds, but nothing in between. Does that make sense? Like some
It was
tones,
a bad boy phone.
yeah. So now I'm thinking there was a phone. I was hearing it, and I was there was like a whole gaslighting situation going. But again, I have to like piece this together all by myself. There wasn't like a witness or anything that I can go write that thing, So that's the conclusion that I can come to. And I always think like, if I'm wrong about this particular conclusion that I'm coming to, or this particular story that I'm not adding up right in hindsight, I'm still not wrong about like the behavior that was being showcased in general. So this is like sort of on brand with it anyway. And that's how I don't feel bad about like even portraying this picture, because I think like this is the right picture. I just don't know all the right details that go along with it, but I know that there are those details there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is what liars count on. Like, well,
Yes.
this one I just
Yes.
proved. So,
Yeah, you're justified in assuming everything was wrong or fucked up.
Right. So that's kind of the conclusion I'm coming to. And that's so right. And I have to remember that is what liars count on, is they give you some of the truth and then the other stuff just doesn't add up. But this did, that doesn't, I must be wrong. And you just kind of start going in that head, especially if you're constantly being, is it gaslit or gaslighted?
Gaslit, of course.
Gasloat is
Gasloat.
the proper term.
Umlaut.
They keep changing it.
Gasloat if you're nasty.
I'm fucked. Now, I assume I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. You found out that Hennessy's engaged now.
Through you.
Through me.
Mhm.
I assumed that you knew, and I was curious if you wanted to yap about it. Does part of you want to warn the new girlfriend, or it's not your place, you don't want to get involved?
I don't really think about it, but I feel like I would want to be warned, but I know that you don't listen in that position. Who's warning you? The ex-girlfriend, the crazy ex-girlfriend, the one that's now with your ex-best friend or whatever the fuck he used to call Xerxes without merit. You know, it's like Hennessy's story could look so legit. Like, oh, they must have been doing this behind my back. Like, this guy's been around forever. We weren't having sex. I was trying to be sexual with this person, but I was feeling very unsafe and not really knowing why. But of course that all came to clarity. Right. But of course you could say like, here's this frigid woman who, whatever the story is, could look like I'm crazy, because when I think about it, the ex before me, probably had the same story, because I remember hearing the ex and I'm like, oh, she's so annoying. She's so, not on your side. Now I'm thinking like, all of it was a lie. You can actually say anything to the next woman. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if I warn people. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people warn that person. You are looking for that person at the time and nobody can stop you.
Has I know you and Hennessy hung out sometimes, Kyle, right? At the time. Did Hennessy reach out to you in a weird way after the breakup? For example, I was looking for pain pills, and Hennessy was like, "Oh, I don't really deal with that, just weed." And then the breakup, and then Hennessy reached out to me. Actually, I have a hookup for pain pills if you want. And I'm like, how can we talk now after all that? How do you I'm gonna be on your side because I need pain pills so fucking bad? Anything like that happen?
I think that's definitely part of like an abusive person's like exit strategy from a relationship is to go fishing to all the mutuals, you know, and like see who knows and who doesn't know and stuff like that. I don't really remember like specifically what was said. It was just very like, oh, like, hey, I miss you. Let's hang. And at the time, I really wasn't keeping up with you guys or the show as much as I am these days or was before, in the past. So I knew that something had changed, that, you know, that just from seeing stuff on social media that like Hennessy wasn't in the picture anymore. So as soon as he hit me up and asked to hang, I started fishing and I was like, oh, that's why he wants to hang out. And so I just never followed up, and he never followed up because that's how those things work. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't, from what I understand and can only assume, it wasn't like a viable let's hang. It was more of like a, let me give you my cover up story so you have it, you know. And I've been burned that way, like exactly like that.
Let's go get some poon.
Yeah, exactly. I call that shoring up, you know. Abusers love to shore up to people. They, you know, like allies that they can get, that they can tell their story to, so that it's like, it gets gray, you know, for the person that they've hurt. And
what does that mean that you've had that done to you?
I've had dudes try and use me as that guy plenty of times, man. I think that, you know, just from the position that I have and the way that I am with my friends and the people that I have around me, I think I'm the prime candidate for that, you know. I think, and I've had to learn that over the years to just be like, okay, cool, like you told me this horrible thing, like, you know, like I don't know, like it's hard to even like go into detail without like telling a bunch of long stories about people you guys don't know, but it's yeah, just stuff like that. Like I can totally see what you're saying with the Hennessy thing. Like abusers do that.
Let's bring our next guest on.
Yeah. I guess the best example I have in my life, and something that we talked about on the show before, is that my stepdad would do that to me all the time, you know, through over the years as I lived over here, you know, and there'd be problems with the family and stuff. And like as falling outs continued to fall, it would always be like, he would only hit me up to like narrate, you know? So
I think it's called triangulating, right?
Okay, there's a term for it.
I think so. I think this is what, like, because there's a lot of new terms and they all have like really good explanations. I don't want to misuse them, but I think that's what it is. Like making sure that this one has this information, that one has that information, and now it sort of causes tension between them two, and they never find out the truth.
Yeah,
I take both sides though. I've had you listen to both, and it's kind of funny to compare the two sometimes.
Yeah, I've had that too.
Yeah. I think you can get in the middle. Let them fight over you.
Be the middle child.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris Laker. Everybody welcome Chris Laker. We haven't spoken to you in a while. Everyone's been looking forward to it. So as soon as you feel not shy and want to turn on your camera and unmute, go ahead and chime in.
Chris has a new podcast called Overslept. You know how people say you wake up and start to, taking notes? He talks into his phone for 10 minutes right away. So it's out there. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, it's not good. I don't tell people to listen to it. But I put it out for 4 years now. It's like, I have like 1,000 something episodes, and it's terrible. But
do you ever glean anything from it? Do you ever hear it back and be like, oh, this is a good idea?
There's some people that like it and email me and stuff. And
no, I mean you. Like, will you be like, hey, this was a joke or a thought for a movie script?
It's all gone. I don't know. For what? Is the world's over? What am I? Give a shit? I have my Jacqueline, my partner, whatever she's successful. That's fine.
That's enough.
We're good. Yeah.
I heard you.
I just don't want to work. That's all.
Right.
I heard something, some kind of joke that you tell that people are now joking with you about riding her coattails, and you're like, yeah, that's a very comfortable place to be.
I haven't. No, that's not my joke. That's somebody else who's
that's
riding
the
someone's
joke
coattails.
that the Blunt told me you said.
I mean, it's true. It's nice for sure. I mean, I'm not riding the coattails really because she's the one. I'm living off the coattails.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. You're not taking me.
I misheard.
My career is in the same spot. But it's all good.
You're coattail adjacent. You're not a passenger on the coattails.
I mean,
you're borrowing the jacket. Let's keep going.
Eating a coattail sandwich.
Whatever.
You're wearing the cummerbund of the jacket that comes with it, but you're not comfortable but you are comfortable in it because it feels good on your belly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little high right now, so not too much. Like I didn't go crazy, but. I wanted to be somewhat alert, but I probably missed something on that coattail thing. But I know I didn't say it before, but I'll say it now if you said it's my joke.
What else did I write? Right. How are you? What is your, how are you holding up during the pandemic? Are you more curmudgeon-y? Are you more a hermit? Do you miss being out? You give off this air, obviously, and I think half of it's real, half of it's a shtick. Here's me. I'm just some bum telling you some jokes, and I think it's great. Are you falling into this thing or not, or did I just somehow say the most offensive thing ever?
I mean, I think this started out as a character. I think.
Okay.
It's like how Dice used to be. That was like a character he did. Now he just wears those gloves all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So you just become the thing. And yeah, so now I'm just like this, I'm like high and most of every night. I had to start doing it just at night because otherwise but that's just it. I watch TV and I'm high. What else is there to do for the past year?
Are you writing anything? Are you creating anything?
Yeah.
Are you just giving really good massages to Jacqueline?
I'm writing, but then it's like my head's so messed up. Like at the beginning of pandemic, I got super into Project Runway. So I started writing all this stuff about Tim Gunn. And now
designers.
I'm not that passionate about Tim Gunn anymore. I've moved on. Now I'm watching Dr. Jeff Rocky Mountain Vet. So
you got a new hour.
I'm just going to have a whole bunch of stuff about TV shows.
And albums about TV shows. What, an hour on Mandalorian is 3.
I smoked a blunt with my 25-year-old girlfriend the other day and explained to her who Andrew Dice Clay was. She had no idea. That was a very fun conversation.
Oh, how did you explain that
she didn't go to college?
Yeah.
No.
How old are you now?
You gotta blame the parents.
I'm 31.
Okay, just because you're bringing up a 25-year-old, I'm like, is there a huge age difference there? I'm losing track of how old you are.
Yeah, I'm 31. I was 19 when I met you guys, and the first show I was on was in 2009. Can you believe that? That's crazy.
Wow.
So, are you the Dice cutoff? Where does it end? Where is the Dice awareness?
I didn't know who Dice was I didn't know who Dice was until Keith showed me the day the laughter died, which is how I started talking about Dice. Because I was like, oh, it's fucked up and it's not good and I don't recommend it, but it's also really, really funny. So it's like, so that I had to explain who this horrible man was. Yeah.
What did you?
It's complicated.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hard one to navigate. To say like, I like this, but I don't like it.
What did you think of Keith as a 19-year-old boy coming into Keith and the Girl world?
I'll look at Keith while I say this. No, I think for me, when I moved to New York, I was definitely maybe not realizing it fully at the time, but I was definitely running away from my home situation, which was vastly complicated and difficult. So it's like but that was very repressed at the time. So I think meeting Keith, it was like a friend, definitely like a father figure in that way. And you guys really like nurtured me and took good care of me for real. And you guys have stayed my friends for this long. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, I don't know. My opinion only grows more fond of both of you for real.
Ooh, that's nice.
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 Yeah, you're the survivor. Who else? Everyone else. There's like
Who else worked with us?
a lot of excommunicated. There's not to joke about it, there's a suicide. There's you got a lot of.
I mean, there's a point I think where I felt, and I told Keith this, we've had conversations about it privately, but just like the feeling weird about airing, just being myself when I was that age and like not really understanding myself, as no one does when they're that age, but having it all be on the air, there's like a certain amount of shame that like just automatically comes with that I had to like work through and realize that there's really nothing to be ashamed of, you know. And I think that I see a lot of people who have been excommunicated. This isn't true of all of them, but it's funny if you just say excommunicated, right? But,
it's a religion.
Yeah, in a way. There's a bit of shame. I think that it's hard to put your life out on the air because this is a very honest space, I feel like. So it can be intense, but I'm super grateful for it.
I get that.
Has anybody been cut off recently? Is there any current feuds that I've
There's
missed out
always a
on?
feud. I just fought with somebody
It just
5
happened.
minutes
It
before
just
you got
happened.
here. I guess I can't help it. And just like, but here's the thing. I think people respond to me like they'll say something and I go, what are you saying? Because it sounds like this. And they're like, fuck you, Hamda. Why do you have to be so mean? I'm like, all right, fuck off. Wait, did you just dig a grave and go, why are you asking me to go in it? Fuck you.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of feeling sorry for yourself kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he's mad at you.
Who's
Frank?
Matt? Who's
Yeah.
Frank Liotti. He basically he hung up on the show.
Oh fuck.
That's the storming out.
I like him. I don't really know him that well, but I like him.
Well, you like him more than he likes himself, so that's your problem.
I don't know. I'm just saying I'm not taking a side in this. I don't know what happened. I just put going on record that
Oh, come on, take a side. Take a side.
No, I don't.
Well, gas.
I don't know what happened.
It is funny though. I didn't think anybody could storm out because it's Zoom, but
Did you?
there we are.
Do you understand? You have no idea why he's mad, or you kind of get it?
I get exactly why he's mad. He was mad before he came in. He picked fights. He blamed us for whatever the fuck energy he was feeling, and then he left. I mean, I could tell you the details, but that I think sums it up. Unless I'm wrong.
Well, based on what you just said, I'm on your side. But
there was something about blowjobs.
And I won't hear it from Frank. I don't know him really. I met him like.
Then what was the debate?
I was just saying the time I met him, he was nice.
He is nice,
and I liked him. But
that's
you know,
what they all say.
if he's storming out of podcasts, and you know, I mean, it's all we got left is Zoom. If we can't have etiquette here, society's gone.
He's closing the last door. I guess drawing the curtain on the last door because he only had a curtain in his house. Was he like going through a breakup? There was a point where he's like, you're talking about the I guess it was the sensitive thing you didn't want to talk about, and he's like, yeah. Like and pointing at them door, like in the other room. Yeah, I think it was just a very tense situation for him.
Do you think that he was drinking tea? Because it felt like
something was up.
He said there's nothing in the cup. He said, I'm sipping on this cup and there's nothing in it. And he poured it out and there's a little bit in it that fell out also.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm no detective.
I just saw a face of a certain thing.
You also said, Hemda, you're not gonna like this one, and then shot a joke at you.
And then Hemda goes, "No, I don't really like it." What the fuck can I say?
And then he got mad. Yeah.
I thought it was a stupid fucking thing to say. You knew it ahead of time. You introduced it like that. That's how you're warming me up. I'm supposed to like it.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to like it. You know what that is? That's constantly asking me to be the cool girl. And I fucking hate that already. Like, unless you're about to be cool with this, you know, Hemda's going to be bothered by this. There's like 3 other motherfuckers in the room, but Hemda's going to be bothered. I wonder why. Because everyone else is just gonna be like
vagina.
Like,
right. That's what I figured.
They don't like it.
Vaginas hurt, you know. We get a little agitated.
Yeah. Oof.
Anyway, I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a nice midday pick me up.
Like dust
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I definitely
I like
got
a dust
second
up.
one. Anyone else want to fight? Get my energy going.
Do you know something else? He didn't respond to the. It's always like there's always a bonus thing, and he didn't respond to the email in time, and then threw something in, then gave a time last minute. Gente has to work around him to figure it out, and then this happens.
Naturally, of course.
Yeah, but when I think about it, it's like, oh, Keith was like, oh, but he's got this good story, and I'm like, this guy does not need a follow-up. You know what I mean? Like I followed up with Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, you're just not answering, but I think you're here, right? And Kyle's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I am. But
Yeah.
but I last time Frank was on, he was that grumpy, and he was that the industry is this and that, and he was like, no one's giving me work because I'm not pretty enough and I'm not whatever enough. And I think I have a thing about that where I don't want to hear about that. I really don't. There is no industry that's going to be kind to you. And if you're tired of it on stage in the middle of working it. Nobody gets to go to work in their office and go, accounting is dead. It's over. No one's hiring me. But you're at fucking work. You're in the middle of it. You're with a client going like, well, I guess I got to do this, but don't worry. I'm going to school to get the fuck out of here with you fucking people because no one will give me a chance. All right. Can you finish my 1099s, please?
Yeah, does he think that you guys are just hanging out at your house for 16 years? Like, well, what the hell?
So I think I do get tired of that pretty quickly. Anyone who wants to tell me why something won't let them in because of some whatever thing, I don't know,
Right.
you know? There's no gay comics, but you name them. You have them be your hero. You'd like, oh, people aren't getting enough credit. Credit them right now. This what
Right.
can I say? You have a microphone, everything. Let's go. Like and then if there's an answer to something, it's why you being mean to me. No, you're being mean. You brought the vibe. You did stop putting it on me. Chemda gets upset. You're upset.
Amen. I'm looking through the list. I think that's the only fight today.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
fuck that dude.
Yeah, we got him on our side.
The show business is the fucking best. What are you kidding?
Yeah, he blew it. He
Someone,
blew his
you know what?
He blew his big opportunity.
You know
This is all we
what?
got.
Who wants to work?
Somebody crossed his name off a list listening to that podcast. They were like, "Oh,
Oh, Frank will be just fine.
Yeah, he'll be the same. I don't know what
I'll-
just fine
yeah.
is.
Well, you know, I'm sure he'll find his way. It's a hard time for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just trying to be nice about Frank. I feel kind of bad, you know. It's like you see people get dragged down into the whole bitter fucking thing with show. I don't know if Frank's bitter. I'm just saying I know people who are bitter. I've been bitter, and it just kind of there's not, you can tell somebody that's doing that, you know, they're just gonna get to the end of it and realize, oh yeah, it's you just gotta, it's show business. Who gives a
Yeah,
shit?
but what's different about show business people is they get bitter and they think that theirs is the toughest industry in the world. Everybody that goes to work 9 to 5 is bitter all fucking day. Like, that's a job. It's not supposed to be. I will be on your side where, like, yes, things are hard, but they're not harder than other things. I've had people, like, stand-up comics go, yeah, and stand-up is the hardest career that you can go into. It's the toughest job. And I go, what? Like, why don't you fucking think for a second before you say dumb shit like that? Because you're having a hard time not being exactly where you are. It is not the hardest thing to do. Absolutely not. And it's one of the only jobs where they clap when you're done. And when they don't clap, that's when you're crying. Do you think everyone gets off their shit? Like, somebody can save their company $1 million, they get a plaque. Okay? So sit down with your plaque and enjoy it or don't.
Do you think he was bitter?
Are you
when they
telling
were
me that
cheering for the... Go ahead.
No, that there's a job that's harder than stand-up?
No, never. Although he thinks sucking dick would be.
What? No.
So suck dick!
Yeah. I mean, it's well, it's not. It's stand-up's a scam. It's not a job. That's what we're trying to do. Everybody could do it. That's what people are like, oh, you gotta be. Everybody can fucking do it. You just gotta like be a psychotic. That's like I will fucking talk until people will make it so I don't have to go to work. You know, like I'll just keep talking and saying shit. Like, wait, everybody's funny. Look at fucking Twitter. Everybody's fucking funny.
Yeah,
I go on Twitter. They already wrote the joke I would have written has been written 50 times already, and I'm like, oh, they got it. I don't need to say shit today.
Well,
Everybody's got it.
Yeah, they say one funny thing. Okay, just write it all down till you have 1,000. Done.